When we were talking about examples of true repentance, the parable of the Pharisee and the publican comes to mind. Here is a man who is beating his chest, unwilling to look to heaven, and he just referred to himself as the sinner crying out to God for mercy. So simple. All that he knew is that he saw his own sin. The Apostle Paul is a classic example as well of genuine repentance, where it was so clear. Here was a man who was opposing the way, opposing Christians, locking them up in jail. And the Lord rebuked him, and he turned. And his life, as we're able to read of his life was a continual transformation and turning to God daily as he lived out his life, as he preached the gospel, as he remained faithful in ministering ministering for the glory of Christ. And another example that comes to mind is 1 Thessalonians 1:9. Again, that's such a simple text, but it speaks of the Thessalonians and how it is that they turned to God from idols to serve a living and true God. What a simple statement that is. I love the locative nature of the verse, because it's telling us that they were going in one direction, and by the grace of God, they were turned to go into the direction of genuine faith in the Lord. Another example, of course, is the parable of the prodigal son. And here is a young man who took his father's wealth, his inheritance. He squandered it. He came into the world and was living in the world and just became a part of the dregs of society. And when he returned to his father in a state of repentance, he said that he was unwilling to be called his father's son. And that really, I think, speaks to the heart of the issue, that he understood that he was bankrupt. And I believe that this is really at the heart of what we're talking about when we see someone who's repentant. They're no longer full of themselves. They're no longer full of a high esteem and view of themselves. They see the greatness of God, and they see the lowness of their estate in view of their sin. All of those are, I think, beautiful pictures of repentance.